Hey guys, welcome back to the channel where we review anything and everything. And today we are getting into the follow up to the last two Ninja Turtles from the newer movie. Now, I previously reviewed Raphael and Leonardo, which I have here, and I reviewed them before. And I had revealed that I had these on hand, but I didn't have a chance for my kids to get a chance to open them at the time. So I didn't want to do it until that time. Well, now they've been open and they had really no interest in these figures at that point, though they like Ninja Turtles. But so I am now doing the follow up with the rest of these to show what they have. Now, I did put I lost the weapons for the original two, Raphael and Leonardo were lost, but I have a majority of them and their main weapons also here in this kind of little sandwich bag. So we'll take a look at some of those, matching it up with these guys. I'm going to move them to the side, and we're just going to get into the Michelangelo and Raphael, and then I'm going to talk about the whole line in general and what are my thoughts. Though I know I spoke a little bit on that in the past. So here, let's jump into Donatello. And just a little note, back in the days when the Ninja Turtles first came out, especially when the original cartoon came out. So this is after the time they already had the comics, but most people kind of really grew up with it from the cartoon. Most people, when you were young at the time, and I'm sure this is the case now, but you associated yourself best with a turtle that was the one that you liked, whether it's just because you liked their weapon, whether it's because you enjoyed their personality, or whatever it was that linked you to that one. So for me growing up, it was interesting that Donatello was always my favorite, even though he was far from being the coolest one. And then I had, other friends and family who were their favorite. It was Raphael, another one was Leonardo, whatever the case is. A certain one might be Michelangelo. So it's like you kind of picked and chose the one that, suited which is what happened to be your favorite one at the time. So for me, it was always Donatello, even though I'll be honest with you, his weapon is probably the least exciting of the bunch. You can see on the back here all the other figures that come with the line. And then here you can see the little card for Donatello. You can pause it, read it for yourself. I already opened it partially, and we're going to open it fully. Now, one thing I really like with this line, especially like there's various versions of it, bigger versions of these turtles and the baby versions of these turtles, like little kids, because in the movie they had a moment where they're little kids. But if you're getting these ones as your main baseline, what I think is very interesting is the fact that one, they're pretty affordable. When they're at their regular price, they're $10. When they're at their cheaper price, you can find them for like about $5 and some change, maybe $6. So I think that is really good. Here you can see some of those other figures I mentioned. You've got the 12 figure, the giant figures, they call them 12-inch. And these apparently seem to be talking ones on the left-hand side. We have some of the weapons for kids to play with, which is actually not bad. The list of the basic figures, which is what I showed in the back of the box, along with the vehicles and the pizza van, which I'm going to review that one soon also. The sewer layer playset, I'll be honest with you, it seems really cool, but it's also very expensive. That really needs to come down in price. If that was, say, I think about maybe $50 or less, it wouldn't be bad, but I think it goes for like, I don't know if it's like $85 or $100. I can't remember, but I know it's pretty expensive. The van was pretty expensive too, but if you catch it on sale, you could catch it for, I think, 20 or less. And at that point, it's not too bad. Here you got these kind of little mutagen ooze with little baby turtles in them. So, yeah. And what do we got here? Now look at that. These are the classic figures. Now these are the ones that I originally grew up on. I don't even know where to start because it's a lot, but it's really cool. So here you could see the original figures. Well, so These were the original basics, but these ones are giant figures. Okay, so this is like that's a big version of what they used to the original ones used to look like. These ones say basic figures, original classic tooling and packaging is what it says, but where you had the open shell was actually premium figures. So here they kind of utilized them as the normal ones, but the truth is when you had the open shell was not the normal figures. They were, I think, still done the molding the same way as the original, but the original just didn't have the opening shell, which is definitely was nice. And I think these figures look really cool. The old school original ones. You have the old school Splinter, Shredder, Krang, Foot Soldier, Baxter Stockman. That's how he originally looked, but now in the new one, you can see he looks different. Um, Rocksteady, Bebop, Leatherhead, Wingnut, Genghis Frog. So essentially, you have they're putting here all other than Shredder and Krang, who are mainstay top bosses, and obviously a Foot Soldier member. All the rest of the ones they put here are the ones that are in the new movie, but just the classical version. Um, You have these pizza tossing ones, which I think look a little bit silly. I'm sorry, the review's starting to get a little bit long, but I just want to show you these things. I think this looks really cool. And now here, the mutating figures, I actually used to have one of these back in the days, and they turned into a frog. I'm sorry, so a turtle. They were cool, but they were a little bulky because they flipped into themselves to turn um, into a turtle. These ones are supposed to be inspired by the movie. They used to have a movie line where they didn't have the trench coats on. It had a Leonardo back in the days, which were really cool. The closest thing they have to that now is um, NECA, I think it's called. You can find them on Amazon, like the NECA versions. They're kind of pricey. Anyway, let's jump into this. Let's see how easy or non-easy this is going to be to open. All right, you guys. That wasn't super easy. So I didn't want to accidentally show myself, possibly end up getting cut on camera. Now, one thing that I really do like, which was traditional with the old ones, and they continued that with this new line, is they really do come with a lot of weapons. That was always the case back in the days. You had some generic weapons, and then they had their main weapons. I don't think their main weapons, though, back in the days came color appropriate, where these ones, his bow staff, you can give it a generic color, but you could see here, like say Leonardo swords, they give the handle one color versus the blades. The same with Raphael Saiz. The same with Michelangelo's nunchucks. So obviously his being just all wood is the only reason why Donatello's is going to be more of a generic color. I'm not going to break these things out of this at the moment, but you could see here you've got your little mutagen bomb. This looks like some form of nunchucks itself, like a 3-part nunchucks, which is cool. Each one always comes with a pizza, though the other ones' pizzas were gray. So I'm noticing that too, which is interesting. So Michelangelo and Donatello, their standard weapons come in the color of like this orangey color. And then for Raphael and Leonardo, their standard weapons, like all the extra weapons, come in the gray. So that's interesting that they did it that way. Like I said, you have like some kind of ninja star shuriken. You have a pizza. He has this kind of like staff, a blade at the tip. Like I said, like a 3-part nunchuck. Now, he's got a couple of other accessories with him that stand out that I don't remember Raphael or Leonardo kind of coming with. They each came with a little turtle. They all come with a turtle. But some of the weapons were lost. Most of theirs were just, most of the weapons are here. Most of the weapons of Leonardo and Raphael. Let me pull out a little bit. were all just weapons. They're not really fun kind of gadgety things or anything of that sort. Now, Donatello has, you can see here, a cell phone, this little waist pouch, a cell phone, um, headphones. Let me pull back so I can make sure I get everything covered in the screen. Headphones. So that's kind of playful and interesting. And of course, the little turtle. He has glasses. In this one, they make him kind of go hand in hand with that nerdy appeal that he's always had. But this one actually seems to be, this line in this movie seems to be more kid friendly and more kind of like the turtles are more youthful in this. That's kind of my impression that I get from it. I'm going to unbox the Michelangelo now, so I have them side by side. With that being said, also, I'm just going to pause it real quick so you guys don't have to see that drag out. Okay, I finally got this unraveled, and I want to definitely let you know this is not easy. They make it very hard to get this stuff out, even with a knife. These nunchucks. One thing I noticed with the nunchucks that I could say is either a positive or a negative, and obviously they're a little bit more harder to deal with than, say, any other weapon that is more stable, like a sword or something like that, is you can't have the nunchucks in a pose or a shape in which they are going to be either active or they're going, with chains at least, that they're going to be active or they're going to be, let me zoom in a little bit, that they're going to be active or they're going to be just stationary where he's holding them. So here they have them where he can put them away. Let's see if I could get them in here. They have an opening here. So that way it kind of is able to open up a little bit easier. And I assume that you're supposed to mix and match the position that they're going to go in. Meaning that side would go there and then we'll cross this one. Because that way then you're not really bending the chain. So I'm going to assume that that's how it works. Not bending the chains as much. You're just stretching them across. I could be wrong, but let's just go with this for now. And let's see if I can. So you guys seeing just how hard it is for me to get this in here is a show of how hard it would be in general for someone to do this. Now, maybe they might loosen up over time. You try to get them in the more thin angle of the nunchuck to try to get it in there, but it seems to be quite hard because when you try to put it in, the wrapping kind of closes in on you. But here you go. I'm gonna assume that that's the best way to have it because otherwise you'd be bending them really tight to try to squeeze into the two that are close to each other and the two that are close to each other on there. With that being said, let's take a look at some of his weapons that he comes with. So he's got microphone nunchucks, the standard pizza issue, the pipe bomb, two ninja star shurikens, and this kind of chain. I remember a name for this kind of weapon before. I think it starts with an H, but I can't remember. But yeah, a staff chain with a sickle at the end or whatever. It's kind of similar, not exactly, but almost similar to. I've seen that in movies like Ninja Assassin had something similar to that, and other kind of similar ninja type of stuff like that. So obviously, you get your standard layout of weapons, which is always cool. See, he can hold his bow staff here. And I'm going to bring the other two in. put some of their major accessories off to the side at the moment. So, as I mentioned before, I am a really big fan of the fact that they come with so many weapons with them. I think that's great because it's nice that they have this complete arsenal with them. I wish more toys did that, came with that many accessories, especially for the price of these figures. I mean, when you think about it, like I said, they go for $10, and often on sale you'll find them for like about $6, which is pretty cool that you come with so much. So slide this in right here. Sorry about that. The camera wasn't zoomed out the whole time. So here you go. And like I said, on a day where you can get them on sale, you can get all four of these for less than $20, which is actually pretty cool. No, well, a little bit above $20. I'm sorry, but generally about $6 each. So you're looking at maybe we'll say about $25 before tax. So it's really kind of cool, and with all the weapons that they come with and whatnot. Now, I'm a really big fan of the fact that they did bring this back. They've been bringing turtles back in different incarnations for years now. I'm just really a fan of how much you get for the pricing. I think they are nice for kids. For adults, some people might say like they would prefer the more old school or whatever the case is. They do have some nice articulation with their elbow joints, shoulder joints, wrist joints, knee joints, even the ankles can move. So, and the fact that they're able to hold their weapons on them, because I can't remember if in the original Turtles, if all of them were able to hold their weapons on them, but without being in their hand. But in this case, you can, which is really cool. I think you could in the other ones, in the original ones, but this is really cool. Like I said, they have all these extra bits of accessories. I just want to make a quick note of something. I tried pulling out his little cell phone on his pouch, and I couldn't get it to come out. I didn't want to pull too hard. I think it's made to just sit in there. I don't know if it's even made to come out. So, and then I was looking to see can the whole fanny pack thing come off, and maybe you could get it just to come off, but it's done in a way where you probably would then have some trouble getting it snug back in there. But it's just tension wrapped around. So it'd be up to you, obviously, if you want to take it off or leave it on. If you think your kids are going to lose the cell phone, then that's up to you if you want to do that. But I just want to make note of that and point that out. Okay, you guys. And last, I just wanted to show a wrap up of all of them in the packaging because I actually bought four brand new figures. In addition, because I was actually going to give them away to a couple of nieces and nephews that I have. So, and they happen to be on sale for about $6 each. So, just want to throw this up in the closing image. You can see the artwork of, you see here, Raphael's artwork. Obviously, Donatello's artwork, which we just saw. Leonardo. And obviously, we just saw Michelangelo's. So, just want to close out with that image of all of the turtles all together. And yeah, like I said, I definitely recommend it. I definitely think it's worth it. I think this whole set of turtles in this generation, especially because of the pricing, is awesome because of the fact you can get all set of them. If it's not on sale, you're looking at $40, which I still don't think is that bad for you get four figures for $40, $10 each is I think this normal standard for an action figure these days, especially with all the weapons that you're getting with them, I think is great and amazing. But in addition to that, um, in addition to that, if you catch them on sale, it's going to be like almost half the price. And at that point, you're paying like $25. It's just a steal. Like I just think you're getting these toys for some kids. It's just a steal. If you're getting them as an adult collector, I think it's also cool because there's just a steal in terms of the price. Also, I'm realizing too, just thinking about it as I have them all laid out, Donatello coming with the little accessories, you realize that he's the only one who has a single weapon where everyone else has a double weapon, double nunchucks, double swords, double size. So yeah, just pointing that out. But with that being said, you guys, as always, um, Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll catch you guys in the next video.